Hey there guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to be talking to you guys about Rainbow Six. I've been playing this game for just about 2 months now, and I must say I'm really getting into it and I really enjoy it. I think it's probably one of the best shooters since, in my opinion, Call of Duty, the most best competitive shooter I'd say. I think it's really good. If you guys haven't tried it, try it, pick it up. I think
Need
it's
to
a really
locate the
tactical shooter.
hostage.
If you're looking for something different. Anyway, so the title of this video, by the way, before I start, is for beginners. If you've been playing the game for quite a long time, and by quite a long time I mean a year, maybe you're already too good and maybe you don't need this information. But this game I'm basically going to be talking about the reasons why your aim is probably so bad. And this goes for me as well,
10
really. This
seconds
is
to
what
go.
I've noticed and the things I've changed when I've been playing.
5 seconds to
So
go.
I'm going to talk to you guys about a few things of why your aim is probably not as good as
You are clear to
maybe in
engage.
other
Find the
games.
hostage and proceed to extraction
So
point.
let's start. So first of all, the sensitivity in this game is kind of weird. When you start the game and play it for the first time, you might notice it's not as fluid as Call of Duty or Battlefield or any other shooters, especially if you're playing on a controller. So what you want to do is sort of go into practice mode and just play around with the sensitivity. I'll show you guys my settings right now. If you want to have your vertical sensitivity and horizontal sensitivity to the point where you're not overshooting your corners, and you're not when you're aiming upwards, it doesn't go too far up. Now this is going to be different for everyone because we all put different amount of pressure in. Some people are more light on their fingers, while others are just sort of have a really hard touch and they push up too quick. They might have to reduce the sensitivity quite a lot. For me, I like to have my vertical sensitivity slightly lower than my horizontal just because it helps me to stay on one level. And I usually like to aim at head level just because it's one shot. If you're shooting at someone at the body and someone's shooting at you at the head, he's gonna win because headshots only take one shot. Whereas the body shots, even with a shotgun, it might down him, but headshots will take him out straight away. So I'll tell you what I mean by overshooting. So if I have vertical sensitivity of maybe say, let me show you guys. Go back on this. So say if I have it on, I don't know, 50, and this I have on 50 as well. They're both the same. Now in any other game, you'd probably just do this, and that would be it. But for this game, right? Sometimes it's you want when you want to aim upwards, right? You want to aim in small increments because there's no
Hostage
jumping in this
found.
game. People don't move around a lot. You know, even the characters, they don't move as much, so you don't want to aim too far up to the point where you totally miss someone. Also, you're gonna notice if your sensitivity is really high, your vertical sensitivity, and you're firing, the kick of your weapon is gonna make this the recoil even worse. So that's why you don't want to have it too high. So you want to have it to a point where you can control it. So for me, I would say this is a bit too much because I know right now it seems like okay, but it just feels weird because when it comes to aiming, I sort of overshoot. So for example, if I go here and I'm aiming at this sort of white area, but then I want to quickly aim at this. Obviously, if you're really good and you can control your sensitivity, the analog stick, that's fine. You'll be able to aim faster. But if you're not, you're gonna most likely overshoot and miss. So say for example, there's a guy here, I get him, and then I need to and a guy comes from there, and I need to get him as well. If I shoot here, quickly shoot here, I might miss it because of the sensitivity is too high. So that's one thing I would say. Practice just switching between targets and put the sensitivity onto the one where you feel most comfortable and you can switch to the target efficiently within the right time. As you can see, I'm finding this quite hard on this sensitivity. So yeah, that's why I am going to change it back. So that's one of the reasons why your aim is probably not as good, because your sensitivity settings are just messed up. So you might want to go into like maybe terrorist hunt mode or create a game and just see how you guys find it. Also, your left stick dead zone and your right stick dead zone. Me personally, I like to have these as low as possible, and I've got them completely on 5 because if you this that's going to determine how quick your analog stick responds to the input that you put into it. So like I was saying before, if you've got a really heavy touch, you might be okay with it, but if you're someone that likes to move just small increments, that might not be the best thing then, because you need that much more input into the analog stick to make a movement. So what you want to do is have it as low as possible, because that's also going to improve your reaction time. You don't want to have a delay in reaction time, especially in this game where reaction time is so important, because literally one shot can just kill you. So reaction time is everything in this game. So I would say have your left stick dead zone as low as possible. Right. Another thing I will say is your aim down sights. Now this sensitivity is different to these two. This is when you're just moving around and looking around the world. This is when you're actually zoomed into the weapon. Now sometimes I think what people might have noticed is every weapon has its own recoil. So if you're aiming down sights and you're finding it hard to move around, then that means it's too low. So if you're just so say for example I aim down sights, a guy runs in and he's running around here. So let me show you. So say he comes in and he's moving around shooting me, and I'm trying to keep my aim on him and I can't. I might need to increase the sensitivity just so I'm able to track him. But at the same time, you don't want it so high that you completely miss him as well. So let me show you guys. Especially at long range engagements, because if your sensitivity is too high, you're gonna find it harder to control it at long range battles. So as you can see, this is a bit too much now for me. Yeah, you might be able to switch quick, but you will miss, trust me. So that's why you want to have your aim down sensitivity to the point where you can control it and you're still able to track the enemy if they're moving close range. And yeah, really. So I personally like to have my normal sensitivity higher than my aim down, just because if a guy did run up on me, I'll stop the aim, then I'll move, and then I can have a nice aim lock on him, and I can just go from there. Right, so that's the sensitivity. I hope that helps, and if you have any questions, you can email me or message me or just comment. Right, so the next thing that I want to talk about is on why your aim is probably not as good as what you might want it to be, is because of practice. Now this is probably one of the biggest ones and probably the most obvious ones, but there's more to it than that. Okay, so let me explain. Now in other games when you play, the amount of engagements you get with the enemy is a lot more than it is in this game. So take, say, Call of Duty for example. You're running around, you're probably gonna see maybe 5-6 people before you die. You're gonna get a few kills before you die, and even if you die, you respawn and you're straight back into the game, right? So say for example you're playing a team deathmatch game on Call of Duty. You're gonna be playing for about 10 minutes. You're gonna run around, shoot people, respawn, and you're gonna be practicing, if that makes sense. In this game, however, there's maximum in a casual game maybe 5 rounds. If both team gets 2 points, then it's gonna be 5 rounds. But usually it's it's a 3-round game, or a 4-round game at most. That means that you're only really getting 4 opportunities to get as many kills as you can. Now if you're a new player and you're dying in every one without even killing anyone, that means you're not getting any practice, because in those games you're not even getting a chance to fire your weapon, which means you're not getting used to using or its recoil or its aiming. So that's why the learning curve is actually so steep for this game, because of the amount of engagements you actually have in a single play session. So the thing that you need to do is you need to get a moment of actually firing your weapon. Each weapon has its own recoil pattern. Each weapon is used different range. So you need to get used to that, I would say. And the best way to do that is probably in Terrorist Hunt. So, you know, get used to how the weapon fires, how you like to play. You know, actually get a feel of shooting someone, staying on target, actually getting headshots. So I would say maybe spend a day or two. You know, trust me, if you spend one weekend, if you guys work and you spend one weekend, maybe three hours, you know, twice a week, just in Terrorist Hunt, just shooting people, running around, killing them, you know, picking different weapons, trying to get headshots, you will get a lot better a lot quicker,
15
because you'll
seconds.
actually be getting a chance to, you know,
10
fire your
seconds
weapon and
remaining.
actually get kills. So that's one of the reasons why your aim is probably not improving, because you're not
5
getting a
seconds
chance to
remaining.
actually fire your weapon, you're just dying, you're not getting enough engagements. So that's
You've run out of
another
time.
tip that I would give you guys. Right, so I know the game's ended, but I'm gonna carry on. Right, so actually it's ended at quite a good point. So another reason why your aim is probably not as good is the attachments that you've got on for your weapon. Now, some weapons have a really bad recoil, like they just cannot fire straight, right? Some of them are really good. So ones that I find really hard to control is Maestro, and I forgot what the other one was called actually. Zofia, that's it. Zofia's weapon has such bad kick that I cannot even control it. So what I like to do for those kind of weapons, there's four main attachments that you
Fortify the
can
room.
actually
You need
use.
to keep the hostage
Let me get out
secure.
this game and I will show you guys. And the thing is, each attachment works in a different way. So one of them, and it all depends on your play style again. And some weapons, the attachments are better for than others. So let me show you guys what I mean. So take examples of fear. Or if we go into a loadout. Now, if you guys have played with this weapon yet, it's got really bad recoil. So what I like to use with this weapon is, first of all, I fire in bursts, or you can switch it to just firing single shots, which actually helps quite a bit. Also, using the suppressor will slightly reduce kick, slightly, but it will also reduce damage. Now your flash hider, it reduces small burst recoil. So I would, if your play style is just firing small bursts, you rather use this one. Even with the compensator, when you're firing in quick succession, this doesn't help with this weapon just because of the recoil. So this goes back to the point of, you know, you want to get in as much practice with the weapon or with the character, the operator that you want to use, and get good with it in Terrorist Hunt before you actually go out into casual or ranked. So I would personally say, with certain weapons that have really bad kick or really strong kick, using a single shot firing method, that keeps your weapon in target. And to be honest with you, if you can line up that headshot, that's all it takes, and it saves a lot of ammunition, because a lot of people, they get panicky and they potato. Right, so we're gonna try this and I will show you guys what I mean now. So let's go back into multiplayer, custom game, local, and I made this one for you guys actually, just for the video. So let's go. So mainly the only gun that, if you can get good at Zophia's weapon, trust me, you can control any weapon, because her weapon is so bad when you literally hold the trigger button. Right, let's show you guys what I mean. Which weapon? Yep, this is the one.
Need to locate the hostage.
Can I just skip this method? I don't think I can. Anyways, so as I was saying, try using the different attachments and the different, what's it called? Yeah, attachments. Also, the aim down sights that you have. So, for example, if you have ACOG, it's gonna depend on how
Hostage
you like to
located.
play once again. So, if
10
you're
seconds.
using an ACOG sight, there's no point in you trying to
5
run in,
seconds before
you
insertion.
know, this close to a player, because that is gonna mess your
Hostage
aim
in
up even
sight.
more. You know, try and stay medium to long range if you have an ACOG sight. So let me show, for example, now try and if I try and stay on this target, see, as you can see, it just goes off. So you need to get used to the recoil of the weapon. So if I do single shot, can you see it's a lot easier even if I spam the trigger button to just stay on target. Can you see I'm not even moving off the sign literally. So that is what you guys need to practice. And the good thing about this game is, and sort of the bad thing as well, is the fact that it only really takes one shot to hit someone. If you can get that perfect headshot, this is all it takes. Even if it takes two, you know, you'll be on target at least. Rather than if I switch it back. Can you see I'm firing behind the target rather than, you know, on it? That's why maybe if you try this technique, it will definitely improve your aim. So that's maybe another reason why your aim isn't as good as, you know, what you'd want it to be. Also, let me show you another thing. Now, this is probably going to be another obvious tip as well, which to be honest with you, will take time to improve. Now, the main thing that will mess your aim up is your nerves. Now, we all know when we get to those situations where there's literally with the only guy, or there's two of us left, or there's one guy on the other team left, and it's the deciding match. And it's just 30 seconds left, and you just gotta get that kill or get that capture, and you spot the guy, and you literally, you know, you do this, and that's nerves, guys. And the best way to do it is just remain calm, control your nerves, control your fingers, and just, you know, play it cool. Even if you're going, take your time and just, you know, scope out every little corner and try and control those nerves, because they will mess you up. And to be honest with you, that will just take time. That comes with experience and practice. The more you get yourselves into those situations, they'll become more natural, and you'll remain calm in those situations, and you'll know how to handle those engagements. So the last tip is sort of an experience one, it will come with it. But the other ones, like the sensitivity, make sure you have the correct sensitivity for you. There's no one specific sensitivity that you can use. Even the default sensitivity, I really didn't like it. I felt like it was too slow for me. Didn't feel comfortable, smooth, or anything like that, so I had to change it. Make sure you get practice in terrorist hunt mode every other week or every other day, just so you're getting that practice of firing your weapon rather than just going into casual or ranked and just dying and not even getting that chance to fire your weapon and just watching other players. And that will definitely improve your aim, trust me. And yeah, like make sure also, you know, fire in bursts. So, and your aim will eventually improve, I hope. Well, yeah, it probably will. I mean, the more practice you get as well. And get used to your weapon as well and control those nerves. So yeah, those are my little tips and guides and some of my opinions on why, you know, your aim's bad. These are some of the things that I've noticed when I've been playing. And I am a new player, and I'm assuming you guys are new players as well, because this video was aimed at new players. I'm not really speaking to the general, you know, pro community or anything, or people that have been playing since the day one. So yeah, so if you're new to Rainbow Six, I hope these tips help. And if they do, let me know in the comments, you know, leave a like and subscribe as well. I'll be having some more videos out. I'm gonna have a video out on how to actually do some target practice. I've been coming up with some pretty clever ideas specifically for this game. So yeah, stay tuned for more. Comment, like and subscribe, and peace out.